Hey everyone, happy 4th of July and welcome to another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So it's a little after 4 and I'm going home, which is a short day for me. And by short, I mean 9 or 10 hours instead of 12. But, hey, it's all good because I love what I do. So what can I say? So with that, let's talk about what I did today. I had the whole place to myself today. And I've been promising for a while, and it's finally a good point because it's kind of a transition period for the Barndoor here, going from, taking it apart and doing paint repair and filling holes and stuff to like actual reassembly of the bus. So kind of a good time to do a review of what we've done recently and maybe a little reminder where we are. A lot of you guys have been asking for merchandise. I'm getting close. Don't get your credit cards out yet, but I'll talk about that towards the end. And so we'll go over the Barndoor. We'll talk about this that happened today. And we'll talk a little bit about this one that happened today. And then at the end, we'll talk about the merchandise a little bit. So anyway, let's get on with this thing. So this bus, we've been doing a lot of work on trying to dial in the paint and body on this car. And so the car, I don't know when it had been painted, but the car had been painted, obviously. This is not original paint, but the paint job just needed a lot of love. And so we had our guy come and do a very detailed color sanding and buffing. And I think now you can tell that it's looking pretty good, especially compared to how it was before. You can see my reflection now. I don't know if you could even see a reflection before, not this sharp anyway. So yeah, just lots and lots of hours. I don't even know how many hours we've got into him doing the paint correction here, color sanding, buffing, and so on. So that's a pretty major thing. And he's been, he works at another shop, and so he's been kind of coming like after hours and occasionally on a weekend and stuff to help us out, a couple hours here, hour there. And so it's kind of stretched into way longer than I would have liked for it to take in, but he's worth waiting for. So we just had him do it. I don't remember if I showed the engine compartment or not after we finished with it. So this engine compartment, I think I probably did, but I'll just spend a minute on it here. This engine compartment was a bit of a disaster. It had just a bunch of extra holes in it. Somebody had cut a big hole over here to, I guess, adjust the clutch, and just, I don't know, holes all over the place. And then just little things too, like the little tab there that holds the wire that goes to the battery was busted off or missing, one or the other, I don't remember. And just stuff like that all over the place. Well, we are putting a bitchin' motor in here, and so we want the engine compartment to be a really nice backdrop for that motor, because there's nothing worse than seeing a real nice detailed motor surrounded by an ugly, crappy looking engine compartment. So all those spare holes and stuff are gone. The ones that you see are ones that actually get used for like attaching the tire shelf and stuff like that. So, once the paint correction and stuff was done, Rafa actually started doing a little bit of assembly the other day. He put on the reflectors and the tail lights, which we had re-chromed the bezels on them, and he polished up the lenses. And we've converted these to dual filament. So we're going to have, I think we're putting turn signals on these. I don't remember what the plan is. Turn signals or brake lights, one or the other, just to help, with safety. So normally these are basically just running lights, and then the third brake light sits about here on the deck lid. But we're putting something in these. I don't remember what. Rafa's got a plan. So anyway, and then the M code badge, Rafa restored that and put it in. So nice little detail there. Looks factory fresh. So let's look inside the bus, because a lot of work went into the inside of the bus. So kind of like the engine compartment, the inside of this bus needed a lot of love. So again, there were just holes everywhere. I think somebody at some point had curtains across a lot of the windows, so there were holes, about here and here, and then they were like dented in, kind of weird. So stuff like that, and just a bunch of spare holes across this back here. People mount stuff all over Volkswagens, and I don't blame people for that. I mean, they make the cars do what they need them to do, at the time that they're the owner, and that's fine. But for this bus, we want to put it back to stock as far as not just having random extra unused holes all over the place. So yeah, we fixed all the holes, a little bit of body work on this thing. It's kind of beat up, but I think we actually kind of like the fact that it's not totally pristine, because this bus obviously had a pretty hard life in that I think it was used as a work truck, probably in Australia where it came from. And so this thing is pretty beat up. So they probably were carrying cargo around back here, and it was sliding around and beating this thing up. So that's actually kind of cool. It's kind of part of the history of the bus. So we straightened it out a little bit, but we did kind of retain some of that, usedness there, just to preserve a little bit of the history of the bus, if that makes sense. But yeah, so the whole inside's been repainted then, and once all the holes were filled and body work and stuff like that. And then likewise in the driver compartment here, we've done some paint work in here, and one of our other guys actually polished the seat stand areas here. These part of these show when the seats are in. These don't get a rubber mat like later buses, so you pretty much see this metal here. So did some little color sanding and buffing on those too. And previously Rafa had reinstalled all the controls and stuff that we already took out and restored. So lots of powder coating and polishing and stuff going on here. I might have showed some of this stuff previously, but anyway. And I think Rafa the other day, he kind of started in on removing wiring. So one of the next big things for this bus is going to be to rewire it. So that's actually probably the next big thing, is to go ahead and rewire it while the bus is still fairly disassembled, because that's the best time to do it, because engines and transmissions and stuff aren't really in the way. So anyway, that is the review of this beauty. So it should pretty much be staying indoors now in our shop, as opposed to out in our little bodywork booth that we use over there. So you'll be seeing a lot more of it, and you should be seeing a lot of progress on it here as we really kind of get at it on this one. So yeah, that is the update on the 54 Barndoor. So this guy, the 64 Beetle, which has become a bit of a canyon carver here since we brought it in. I put on the rear drums and wheels today. Previously, I had the drums drilled out and retapped for 14 millimeter lugs, so it matches the front. Of course, these are 12 to start with, but the fronts on the air-cooled brakes were 14, and kind of wanted everything to match. Makes sense. So we went ahead and had these drilled and tapped out and got them all together with the spacers and everything. So it looks killer. Got roughly a similar amount of thread showing on the rear lug nuts compared to the front. A little bit less, but it's about as close as I could get it with available studs. So I don't think anybody's gonna cry too much over these sticking out maybe 1/8 of an inch less. Anyway, so yeah, that was pretty much it for this guy. Just getting back on all 4 wheels, and I think the next thing to do is going to be to start it up and take it for a test spin, make sure it's all running good, and then do some stops, some aggressive stops to break in the brakes. So rear brakes are totally new, drum of course, and then front brakes are totally new. The air-cooled wide 5 kit with the big Willwood. So yeah, the brakes need to be broken in. So need to get this puppy fired up and take it out and get those brakes good and hot a few times and get them broken in. It's probably the next thing that's going to happen on this one. This one got some love today. Actually took it for its first road test on the road, and it did great. And the only thing it was stalling when you'd come to a stop sign, even though it would idle if you just kind of sat there and like once you came to a stop sign, if you'd kind of give it a little gas and feather it, then it would keep idling. But if you just kind of let off the gas and rolled up to a stop sign or light, it would die. So a little bit more carb adjustment, and just for good measure, I pulled out the idle jet and cleaned it out and kind of blew back into the carburetor through the pilot jet opening and stuff. That seemed to take care of it. Might have just had like the tiniest bit of crud in the idle circuit. It does not take much. The orifices on these things are teeny tiny. But anyway, it's running great. Took it for several test drives. Got the steering wheel almost straightened out. It's still off maybe like one spline. So sometimes it takes a couple times to get it perfect, but it's super close now. And yeah, runs and drives great. It's totally fun to drive. The little 1385 cc 40 horse pulls these big ass tires very well because of course the car is super light, so it doesn't take much to get it going. So yeah, it feels very fun to drive. So some test drives on that happened today. This one, the big news here is pretty obvious. I went ahead and finished pulling the motor out. The devil bus back there in the corner, I just didn't really feel like putting the motor in it today, and we kind of need to move some cars around to do it to create some space back there. So that's a better job to do Monday when Rafa's here. We can kind of move stuff around together, and just more of a two-person job moving these cars around sometimes. So we'll get to that Monday. Probably go ahead and get the motor in it Monday and hopefully finish it up soon and get rid of it. But anyway, yeah, motor came out here pretty easy. Yeah, nothing really difficult about it, just lots and lots of disassembly. So this is the state that I took the motor down to get it out. So just lots of removing parts, pretty much everything external to the motor, with the exception of the pulley. The big motor in my car, I have to pull the pulley. On this one, the owner actually said it's okay to leave on, so I left it on. But other than that, yeah, exhaust, valve covers, everything else comes off. And everything looks in great shape. So hopefully this will be going in another customer's car here in the not too distant future. We'll see. So keeping our fingers crossed for that works out. And so there we go. Now let's talk about the merchandise. For those of you that still stuck around, thank you for waiting. This is my first attempt at creating merchandise. So, and I'm using Printify, which is a service that makes stuff. So I tried a few things, just sort of regular coffee mug. This came out really great and I'm very happy with it. The only thing is I want to move the logo up a little bit so it's centered. I don't know why I put it a little bit low, but yeah, definitely I'm going to center that. And then these will be available for purchase. I'll give you guys a link when it actually goes live, if anyone's interested in enjoying your morning coffee with Vintage Classic Specialist. The tumbler I'm not super happy with, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I may just give up, or I may try a different tumbler, or I'm not sure. But it's probably hard to tell on the video, but the logo is very distorted on there. You can probably tell looking at these two side by side. It's like stretched a lot horizontally in a weird way. And yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but I can't sell someone that. It just looks kind of weird. So I don't know what. I may see if I can get a hold of their tech support and see if there's something they can do, because I really like these travel mugs like this. They're super handy, and it'd be cool to offer them, but not if they look like that. That just looks weird. That's not up to our standards. The last thing is that I made on this round is the t-shirt. So this is actually the back, and it came out pretty good. The front of the t-shirt I'm not super happy with, and this is partially my fault. I think I made the logo too big there on the chest, and then I think it's actually their fault, and it's going to be hard for me to show you, but the logo is actually sitting a little crooked. And then the other thing is the shirt. So they have like a million t-shirts you can choose from. This is just, it's a little bit on the thin side, so I may go with a little heavier weight shirt. You know, I think if people are wanting to buy merchandise, they're happy to pay a couple bucks more and get, you know, like a heavier weight t-shirt that's going to last longer and stuff like that. So this one I'm probably going to just totally scrap and then try a different one with a heavier weight t-shirt, make this logo a little smaller, make sure it's straight. And then I'm not sure all of this white printing on here, this kind of like, I don't know what you call it. It's almost like this plasticky stuff. This stuff, when you wear it a lot and wash it a lot, tends to kind of like crack and stuff over time. So what I may do, which is what we have on the shirts that we wear in the shop, is this part here that's white is just see-through, and then the motor itself, the line art of the motor is white, and so it shows up on a black t-shirt really well. So I may do something like that for at least for darker colors, especially like black and darker gray and stuff like that, is go ahead and make this area out here clear and then make the line art of the motor white so it kind of stands out without having all this, I don't know what you call this stuff, plastic or ink, whatever this, you guys know what I'm talking about. Just so that I think it's going to last longer and look better that way. So yeah, I'm probably going to do another iteration or two of the t-shirts. And every time I do, of course, I'll buy one, get it, look at it, make sure it's, finally what I want. And then I'll make them available. So thanks for all your patience. A lot of you guys have been asking for merchandise for a while, which I really appreciate, but I am working on it. So hopefully in the next, few weeks or so-ish, maybe, the merchandise will be live, and then I can give you guys some links and stuff like that. And I've got other designs and stuff in mind too, with cars on them and stuff like that. So I'll try and show you guys it as I get samples made and stuff. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. Again, happy 4th of July to everyone. Hope everyone has a happy and safe 4th of July. I know there's been some tragedies lately in the news here related to fireworks. So be safe, everyone. And I will actually be in tomorrow for a few hours on Saturday to do another episode. So I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.